then what would happen? Anga Maharaj would be entangled or be attached to his son, devote more time to his son, enjoy his son's association. But Prabhupada explains in that purport, the Lord, what he wanted, that Anga Maharaj come closer to him. So sometimes the Lord gives a bad son, a bad child as a blessing to the father, so that the father being detached and comes to the Supreme Lord, gives more time to the Supreme Lord. So then Anga Maharaj finally he decides that better I had no son instead of having such a bad son. So therefore, for that time, at that time, the Lord wanted Anga to become close to him, so therefore he gave a bad son. But then he also wanted to fulfill Anga's desire. So therefore, he came as Anga's grandson. And thus we have Prithu Maharaj. So therefore, this is all because of Dhruva Maharaj lineage. Because of Dhruva Maharaj lineage, Anga was such a pure devotee. Anga had all good qualities. And in his, as his grandson, we see Prithu Maharaj appeared. So then Prithu Maharaj is appearing as a not as a baby, already a big man. He appears along with his wife. No need to hunt for a wife also. Comes with his wife consort, and they get married. And then what the section we are reading now, chapter 15, is how he was crowned, how the coronation happened. You know, when you make the person a king, there is abhishek, there is a lot of gift coming, and everyone is celebrating as a festival. And that too, especially the citizens, this country must have been very happy because they got a good king after such a bad king. They had in the Vena, and they removed Vena, they put the Brahmanas, then thieves increased. So they had a long time of a bad ruling. And now they're finally happy. They have seen some light, something good happening. So the entire world is celebrating. We can see the Gandharvas celebrating, the Siddhas are celebrating, demigods, Brahma has come. So then they are celebrating. So when what happens when they first of all the Brahmanas they announce this is the Supreme Lord who has appeared. Everyone accept the word of the Brahmana. This is the Satyuga people. When the Brahmana say something, they accept it as truth. They don't argue further. So when the Brahmanas announced that, oh, Vena from Vena's body, Prithu Maharaj has come, we are going to name him Prithu because his fame will be spread all over the world. And he is the Supreme Lord himself. And this lady is Archi. She'll be known as Archi. Sorry. This girl will be known as Archi because she's the best of all ornaments. And she is the eternal, she is a plenary expansion of this goddess of fortune. She is the eternal consort of Prithu Maharaj. They announce like this. Everyone accept. Then the demigods headed by Brahma appear. And then they come in, they take darshan of Prithu Maharaj. And then what do they see that makes them believe that Prithu Maharaj is the Supreme Lord himself? What feature of Prithu Maharaj made Brahma announce that yes, this is the Supreme Lord? Anyone remembers?
He had all the marks.
By inspecting the foot of Prithu Maharaj.
The auspicious symbols present.
There were auspicious symbols present in Prithu Maharaj's foot.
What was that auspicious symbol?
Shankha.
Shankha, Chakra.
There was lotus.
Lotus.
Lotus is on the
Umbrella.
Lotus umbrella.
And there was the sign of this chakra in the hand of the Lord. Lions that resemble Vishnu and so these are the simple features of every personality of Godhead. So when Brahma noticed this, he understood this is the Supreme Lord himself. So then he also announces. So in this way, the Brahmana said, Lord Brahma said, so everyone accept him as a Supreme Lord. So this teaches us that how we should understand the incarnation of the Lord based on Brahmanas and Shastras. Not that anyone claims to be the Supreme Lord. So he's Supreme Lord, you have to accept. So then they start doing the Abhishek. So then there comes Suta, Magadha, and Vandis. So these three people are not like one person is called Suta, one person is called Magadha, one person is called Vandi. These are the names of the clan. the dynasty name. So there's a set of class of people who are known as the Sutas. There is a class of people known as Magadha. So these classes, what is their job? So them, their descendants, that whole family's job is to, they're very expert in composing verses, singing songs in glories of great personalities. So any festival happens, these people are invited and they are given a stage where they can sing the glories of the Supreme Lord or of the festival or of the kings of this place. So like that. So this is the livelihood for these people. So these people came and under the order of the Brahmana, they were glorifying Prithu Maharaj. So they began to very wonderfully glorify Prithu Maharaj. And before this, of course, we saw the wonderful gifts that different personalities gave. Varunadev gave a beautiful umbrella that will always sprinkle water. Then Indra gives a helmet. So very beautiful, wonderful gifts that come. And then these people, they start glorifying Prithu Maharaj. So what they glorified is not described as such, but when they started praising, at that time Prithu Maharaj, he begins to speak. He kind of stops them, he thanks them, and with the gravity of the vibrating sounds of cloud. So when Prithu Maharaj opened his mouth and spoke, it was like clouds rumbling. That was such a grave and such a heavy and such a wonderful, commanding voice that Prithu Maharaj had. Megha Nirhradaya, as grave as the thundering of clouds. That is his vacha, his voice. So today we are going to start reading from text 22, which is what Prithu Maharaj is going to tell to these Magadha, Vandis, and Sutas. So we'll begin with Mangalacharan. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरून् श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनित्यामिनि नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयप्रकाश स्वामिनिधिनामिने नमाचार्यपादाय निताय कृपाप्रदायिने गौरकथाधामदाय नगरग्रामतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासवि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुभमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं विविधभागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुका मदेकबन्धु मत्सङ्गिन् मद्गुरो मन्महाधन मन्निस्तारक मद्भाग्य मदानन्द नमोस्तुते पृथुर्वाच भो सूत हे मागध सौम्य वन्दिर्लोके धुनाक्षात् गुणस्य मे स्यात् किम् आश्रयो मे स्तव एष योज्यताम् मामय्यभूवन् वत्था गिरो वः पृथुरुवाच भोसूत हे मागध सौम्य वन्द्यल्लोके धुना पाष्टगुणस्य मे स्यात् किमाश्रयो मे स्तव एष योज्यताम् मामय्य भुवन् वितथा गिरो वः. Translation. Can someone read the translation?
Hare Krishna, Shobha Mataji, you can read the translation. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam, Mataji and Prabhuji's translation purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. King Prithu said, O gentle Sutta, Magadha and other devotee offering prayers, the qualities of which you have spoken are not distinct in me. Why then you should why then should you praise me for all these qualities when I do not shelter these features? I do not wish for these words meant for me to go in vain, but it is better that they be offered to someone else. Haribol, thank you, Mataji. Dandavats.
Thank you, Mataji. So they glorified him with some qualities, qualities that are suitable for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because Supreme Lord, he certainly has all these wonderful qualities. So they were glorifying him. But then Prithu Maharaj, he has a issue. He says that, you see, I have just been now coronated. I have not yet become the king and gone and done something for the praja. I have not fought a war. I have not done anything by which, like, I have done achievement that you can glorify. I'm just starting. I just appeared now. I appeared and then you made me the king. So I didn't get time to do anything. So then, if I have not manifested these qualities, then how can you glorify me? So this looks like, okay. So that means Prithu Maharaj did not show any good quality. He did not show any achievement. But then what then were these people talking about? So that means they were just doing false praise just to get good name from the king. No, because they knew it has already been ascertained that he is a supreme lord. So they know that he is filled with good qualities. It is just a matter of time that they are not manifested, they have not been revealed. But by his speeches, by the way he talks, by the way he looks, by the way he is dealing with the people during the coronation, all his gentleness has been manifested. But then Prithu Maharaj, from his side, he feels that when I have not done anything, I don't think I am at this point ready to receive such praise. I have not yet, these qualities are not distinct in me, which means you cannot see. And why do you praise me for the features that I have not shown yet? No? So therefore, those who have shown, to them you go and offer this. Like this, Prithu Maharaj is telling. So what does this show, this verse, what does it reveal? It reveals one very good quality of the Lord.
Humility, Mataji.
Humility.
Srila Prabhupada mentions that in the purport. He says, King Prithu very humbly asked why the devotee should praise him. The Lord this is the speciality of the Supreme Lord. Now we worship Krishna, we worship the Lord, especially in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Our concept of God is very, very beautiful. We worship a Supreme Lord who is not like other religion. We think he's all powerful, he's almighty, he's a very big man. Yes, he's a very big man, but also in our Sampradaya, especially, the sweetness of the Lord comes out. In Bhagavatam, we find the Lord is not just big and great and all powerful and commanding respect and a very strict person. He's a very sweet person who is very humble. He is having so much power, he is having so much respect and everything, but he is also very humble. He's telling that don't simply praise me when I have not done anything as such. He's humble. We find that the Lord, he is, he tells Arjuna that when Arjuna comes to know that he's a supreme person of God, and he said, "Oh my God, oh Krishna, I did not know after seeing the Virat Rupa, you're such a big person, and I have been eating with you in the same plate. I have been sleeping with you, and I have, jokingly called you so many names, made fun of you, have teased you, but I did not know you're such a big person." But the Lord actually, he relishes Arjuna playing with him in that way. So when Bhishma Dev, he is looking at the Lord and he is almost going to depart, he addresses the Lord as Vijaya Sakhe. And he prays that Vijaya Sakhe Ratirastu me Anavartyam. May always have attachment to Vijaya Sakhe, which means Vijaya is the name of Arjuna. So may in my mind, or may my mind always go towards Krishna, who is the friend of Arjuna, in the sense that with whom Arjuna used to play in all these ways, with whom Arjuna used to talk in all these ways. So in that purport, Srila Prabhupada says in Canto 1 that the Lord likes to be addressed in this way with the names of his devotees so that he can remember their sweet relations, you know. So this is our concept of God. He is a very sweet person. So here Prithu is showing his humility. And he's saying that unless I have manifested the qualities, please do not offer your prayers now. So, in this connection, this is a teaching for the modern day politicians who always want people to keep praising them. You know, not only for politicians, but for all of us, when we always, desire that someone junior should praise us. There are two aspects to this when someone expects for praise. One, in the Supreme Lord's case, whether he does something or not, this whole world is going because of him. So he is always liable for any praise. He is the only one that can be praised because the sun rises because of him. We are able to breathe because of him. The whole manifestation, in fact, we exist because of him. Everything comes from the Lord. But in the other hand, if a materialistic man, if a jiva, if a living entity is expecting praise, then what is it? It is utter foolishness, because anything a living entity does is because of his karma, because of the three modes, and because of the consent and the will of the Supreme Lord, right? If one of these is also not there, ultimately the will of the Lord is not there. Can we do anything? Can one person do anything? He can't do anything. So therefore, a layman expecting praise, whether he does something great also, is um, utter foolishness. He is taking claim for a wrong thing. You know, it is like asking for something that does not belong to him, claiming over others' property, because all praise belongs to the Lord. And Lord means not only the Lord, we know from Bhagavatam Canto 1, Vyasadev's meditation, um, that no, sorry, in Canto 1, Chapter 1, Text 1, Janmadasya verse Prabhupada explains the purport. When we talk about the king or when we talk about the Lord, it does not mean only the Lord. It means his kingdom, his associates, and everything, right? So when we say all praise goes to the Lord only, that means, of course, his associates in the spiritual world, the Vaishnavacharyas, the devotees of the Lord, the abode of the Lord, the glories, the holy name of the Lord, whole entourage. They are the only one meant to be glorified. There is in Canto 1, sorry, in Canto 1 end and Canto 2 beginning, Parishit asked this question. What is it to be heard? What is right thing to be sung or glorified, and what is the right thing to be remembered? And at that time, Shukadev Goswami, what does he answer? Yet smartavyam, yet kirtanam. Forgot that verse. So he says, Ichchata makuto bhayam. So if you want to live fearlessly, then what is the thing to be heard, chanted, and remembered? And Shukadev Goswami's answer is the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the one that is to be always chanted, always to be heard, always to be remembered. So Supreme Lord means his pastime with the devotees, his pastimes with all his associates. So therefore, that is the only thing that is to be praised or prayers is to be offered. So a layman accepting or desiring for praise is also wrong. And people, materialistic people or people in general, glorifying man for his materialistic achievements is also wrong. What is to be always praised is the Supreme Lord, his devotees, and his pastimes. And that is what we should glorify. And in that is in when we glorify the Lord, in that within that is our good seated. That is the best for all of us. So Prithu Maharaj is explaining that point over here. Text 23. Tasmat parokshe smadupashrutanyalam करिष्यतस्तोत्रमपि च वाचः सत्योत्तमश्लोकगुणानुवादे जुगुप्सितं न स्तवयन्ति सभ्या. Translation, please.
Hare Krishna, Shilpa Mataji can read the translation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O gentle reciters, offer such prayers in due course of time, when the qualities of which you have spoken actually manifest themselves in me. The gentle who offer prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead do not attribute such qualities to a human being who does not actually have them. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So in the first verse, Guru Maharaj said that when I do not have these qualities, so don't offer me the prayers, offer to someone who actually have them. Now, Prithu Maharaj, the next step he's saying is, if you want to still offer the prayers to me, then wait for some time. In due course of time, if these qualities that you have mentioned manifest, I do something which is worth glorifying, then you can offer the prayers at that time, but not now. And then very beautifully he addresses them as gentle reciters. Gentle devotees of the Lord. So Prabhupada also uses this word in the purport also. So in word to word, it is apiche vachaha. Apiche means gentle. Vachaha is reciters. So apiche vachaha. They are all very gently reciting, very pleasing to the heart, very pleasing to those who hear. So he says that, and then he says, these gentle devotees, they should offer prayer to the personality of Godhead. And they never attribute such qualities to a human being. So then Prabhupada picks up this point in the purport, and he mentions, like how we were discussing some time ago, how a man should not desire for praise. And people who praise, we all have this innate quality of praising someone because we are all servants. Krishna and Nitya Das. So we have to keep glorifying someone, do service for someone. So Prabhupada says that if the people, non-devotees, they do not offer the praise to Supreme Lord, then whom they have to offer praise to someone. So they will end up offering prayers to some human being, thinking him as God. So this is very similar to how people start worshipping cricketers, people start worshipping actors, people start worshipping some politicians. They start, it is our nature, it is the quality of jivas to do worship. So when they do not find the right person, they have to offer that worship somewhere. They will offer that worship to all these different people who they think as God. It could be different people. It could be one's own parents. Some people, the ma baba, in Bengal is very common. You see in cars, behind say ma baba ashirwad, mother and father, mother and father. So some people do that. Some people do to demigods, which the Lord of course says is illegal. It is the Avidhi Purvakam is the worship of demigods. So somewhere they have to send their worship, so they send it to these wrong places. But so therefore, that is the difference purposes between a devotee and a demon. What does the demon do? Prabhupada mentions two qualities. Demon, they think themselves as God and they desire to be praised in that way. So they expect. So expecting praise, when somebody expects praise, Srila Prabhupada mentions that is the quality of a demon. A quality of a devotee is they never expect praise. All our Vaishnava Acharyas are in that mood. In all their songs, in all their works, we see they put themselves in the lowest of the status. And they do not expect for praise at all. So much so, it's a very beautiful verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yes, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhyakanda, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is Kaviraj Goswami describes that when glorifying his devotees, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorifies as if he has 5 mouths. So how much eager the Lord is to glorify devotees. Mahaprabhu glorifies the devotees. When Mahaprabhu glorifies the devotees, it looks like he's having 5 mouths and he's glorifying. And when the devotees hear the glories, their glories from the Lord's mouth, like Haridas Thakur or Sanatan Goswami and all, they cannot tolerate that, They completely, they deny that, oh Lord, what you're saying is not all right. I am not at all like this. Please don't glorify me like this. It is very painful to my heart if you glorify me. So that is the mood of devotees. They get pained when someone glorifies them. I have personally seen this when in Mayapur we have his the Jananivas Prabhu and Pankajangri Prabhu, the transcendental twin brothers, the head pujaris. They are very glorious. Their whole life they have practically given to Shri Shri Radha Madhav Panchatattva Nrsingadev. Their life and soul is the deities. We have seen them like giving up all personal comfort, and their life is completely molded to the deities only. And to Mayapur Dham, we can see their dedication. They come for Bhagavatam class every single day so beautifully. That is, they show how devotees should be reading, studying Bhagavatam. Both the brothers have their own Bhagavatam copies. Pankajang Prabhu has one Bhagavatam, Ganesh Prabhu has one Bhagavatam. They have, they cover it, they have a nice cover, blue color cover, satin cover, stitched for keeping the Bhagavatam safely. They both have their own Bhagavatam keeping wooden stand. Every day for Bhagavatam class, they'll go to their room. After Darshanarti, they'll go to their room, take the Bhagavatam stand, take the Bhagavatam book, and they'll come to the class. They'll sit in the front, in the cushion. They'll open the Bhagavatam to which verse it is. No phone, no, even though the verse is there on the board. They don't look at phones and they'll keep the book Bhagavatam in front of them, and they'll wear their specs, and they'll be hearing whoever gives the class. They are the most senior devotees in Mayapur, and they know everything. They have read Bhagavatam many, many times. But new devotee, new brahmachari, Matajis, Prabhujis, whoever gives class, they don't, irrespective of who the speaker is, they will come and sit in the class and they will hear. And if they have any questions, they'll ask questions. They want to share any comment, they'll share comments. And when they go back from the class, there is breakfast time, 9 o'clock. So many devotees will keep talking to them on the way. They'll reach home, they'll reach their room. And when they go to the room, the two brothers, they discuss about what they heard in the class. No, proper. So they are so glorious. The way every single activity of them is so glorious. So we see, this is how Vaishnava should be. We cannot find any bad quality in them, the way they dress, the way they dance, the way they sing, the way they speak. Anyone offers obeisances to them, they're old, they can't offer obeisances, but they will acknowledge every person and they do not want them to offer obeisances. And they want to offer return, but if they can't, at least they will, fold their hands and mentally offer obeisances. In this way, they do to everyone, they acknowledge everyone. So they're so gentle and so sweet. So they are so glorious. When any festival or some Maharaj comes to Mayapur and gives class or there is some discussion, naturally everyone glorifies them. And we can have practically seen when they are glorified, they completely become speechless. They put their head down and they cannot tolerate someone glorifying them. And when they get a chance, they will try to stop that glorification and they will say that I have nothing like this. In fact, Janesh, he runs the words. He just tries to escape from that place. And Pankaj Agro, little jovial, humorous in nature. So he'll say that this Mataji or this Prabhuji is glorifying so much. I think, I am like a mirror. So in me, she sees herself and she's glorifying all her good qualities because she's seeing that in me. So like this, they practically cannot take or accept glorification of themselves. This I practically see. So this is the nature of devotees, They cannot tolerate someone praising them. They feel that I have done nothing. All the praise belongs to Guru and Krishna. Srila Prabhupada also manifested this quality of humility. He said that, this ISKCON movement is going so nicely because of my Guru Maharaj. And all my disciples, my 70-year-old man, old man, gone to West and by Kirtan, he has preached and made devotees. So he should be, I would say like, yes, I made these are my boys, I brought them to Krishna consciousness. They are my disciples. Prabhupada said, no, these young girls and boys, you have been sent to me through my Guru Maharaj. So they don't take credit for themselves. So that is the nature of devotees. It's a quality of demigod. All the good qualities of demigods come into in the body of a devotee because of practicing Krishna consciousness. So this is the mode of devotees. They do not want to take praise and they always give the praise to Guru and Krishna when they are due for praise. The Vaishnava Acharyas are due for praise. They have done things that can be glorified. Whereas demons are exact opposite. They do nothing deserving for praise, but they think that I am God or I am the great person and everyone should glorify me. We have examples of Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, and even in today's world, we have so many examples. People want worship. We have seen so many politicians, actors, and cricketers and famous people who get so angry if they are not, received properly or glorified properly, or if they do not get enough remuneration, they will not do anything. So it's such a degraded quality, degraded nature of these personalities. It is very sad to see that these kind of personalities are glorified and worshipped in today's world. So this is the nature of demons. And the people who offer worship to such demons, demons or people who are not materialistically just great, no? People who worship them, they are simply foolish people. They are non-devotees, foolish people who are not able to, who do not know, where to put the glorification to. So, therefore, Prabhupada, in the last line of purport, he says, if a man does who does not factually possess the attributes of a great personality engages his followers in praising him with the expectation that such attributes will develop in the future, that sort of praise is actually an insult. So therefore, it is actually it's an insult. So the Prabhupada is actually in this sentence, he's mocking, he's sarcastically commenting on the politicians who think that they are being praised, but actually such praise that they are getting is nothing but insult. Okay, let's go to text 24. Mahad gunanat manikartumishah kasthavakaishtavayate satopi tesya bhavishyanniti pralabdho janavahasam pumatirna veda. Translation.
Hare Krishna. Vasudha Mataji, you can read the translation. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Hare Krishna. Translation Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. How could an intelligent man, competent enough to possess such exalted qualities, allow his followers to praise him if he did not actually have them? Praising a man by saying that if he were educated, he might have become a great scholar or a great personality is nothing but a process of cheating. A foolish person who agrees to accept such praise does not know that such words simply insult him. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So in the previous verse, Prithu Maharaj said, in due course of time, you can offer such praise when I have manifested these qualities. But for now, you should glorify the Supreme Lord only. Now, in this verse, he says that if a man is intelligent and he possesses exalted qualities, then an intelligent man will never allow his followers to glorify him. So, when the due course of time, that when I manifest the qualities come, even at that time, if I have some intelligence, then I will not be allowing people to praise me. So, because an intelligent man, a great man, does not take pleasure in vain glorification. So he is himself giving an example that one man is there, he is uneducated. Now some people are glorifying him. Oh, oh my dear Lord, if you had been educated, I am sure you would have become a great scholar. He is an uneducated man, but glory. So this, what is the meaning of this kind of glorification? He is not educated. He is not a scholar, but you are saying that if you had been educated, I am sure you would have become a scholar. So this is actually insulting him, telling him that you are now not a scholar, you are not an educated person. But so this is actually a process of cheating. So Prithu Maharaj is telling that this is how you are glorifying me. I have not done anything, but you're saying that this all things I will do. So this is not nice. And and it is only a foolish person who will agree and accept such praise. A foolish person will not be able to comprehend that they're actually insulting me and not praising me. So if I now accept your praise, then I am going to be known as a foolish person. So this is Prithu Maharaj's standing. So Prabhupada in the purport he says, so when you read the translation, you feel what Prithu Maharaj is saying is correct only. He did not do anything now. So if he accepts this praise, that means he's a fool. But Prabhupada immediately in the purport he says that it is not like that. Prithu Maharaj's case is different because he has already been testified by Brahma, demigods, Brahmanas that he's Supreme Lord. He's already been endowed with heavenly presence. So this does not happen to any layman. When a layman becomes a chief minister or prime minister, demigods don't come running with umbrella and helmet and camera and elephants and start giving gift. This happens only to the Supreme Lord. Even I think when Indra is connected, also all these things don't happen. The entire three worlds don't celebrate. Maybe Indra Loka will celebrate. But it is only for the Lord when these things happen. So therefore, it is perfect and is befitting that he be glorified. But Prithu Maharaj, because of his good qualities, he is mentioning that since I have not shown in action, please don't glorify me now. Therefore, he was not willing to accept the praise. So Prabhupada says the so-called incarnations of God should take lesson from this behavior of Prithu Maharaj. This is the lesson that we get from this particular. It is one pastime of Prithu Maharaj. There are many pastimes that Prithu Maharaj is going to perform in Shrimad Bhagavatam. One is his dealings with these glorification reciters. So this one pastime is teaching us this lesson that we should we should give glorification only to Lord and his associates and his devotees, and we should never expect glorification. This is the proper mode of not a devotee. A devotee, of course, he thinks himself very lowly. He thinks he's supposed to be humbler than the blade of grass. But what Prithu Maharaj is showing here is the quality of a normal, a good human being. A sane human being, he says, no, an intelligent person, one who accepts praise is a foolish person. So an intelligent, sane, common man should never aspire for glorification. This was the standard of living. This is the standard of living of Vedic culture. In Vedic culture, the Brahmanas, the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas, the Shudras, none of them expect glorification properly in Vedic system. Therefore, the system is so good. It is the demoniac people, especially in Kali Yuga, it is filled with demoniac people who expect for glorification. If you're not a demon, if you're a normal, good human being following the path of dharma, you're a pious man, then you should not be expecting glorification. And devotees are, of course, one step, Vaishnavas are one step higher. They glorify only the Lord and they don't expect glorification. In fact, they don't even consider them qualified to be, sitting in a association of devotees also. You see, Haridas Thakur, he did not want to stay near the Jagannath temple. Even though the Lord, his associates like Gadadhar Pandit, Kashi Mishra, Sarvam Bhattacharya, so many Paramananda Puri, they were all residing near the Lord. But he felt that if I reside there, then what will happen? The pujaris will go up and down to Jagannath temple. They may touch my shadow, not even the body of Haridas Thakur. They may touch my shadow, and I am a very lowly person. They'll become impure just by my touch. So this is the mood of Vaishnava Acharyas, They think that people get impure. Sanatana Goswami felt the Lord is touching me again and again. I feel so sad because my body is filled with pus and blood. So therefore, let me commit suicide so that the Lord doesn't, get the trouble of, embracing me and getting blood all over his body. That is the mode of devotees. So many devotees are there like this. So they are showing us by their example. These pastimes of Prithu Maharaj happened so many years ago, 5,000 Satyuga, many millions of years ago. But our Vaishnava Acharyas still today, they are manifesting these qualities, showing us that the lessons of Shrimad Bhagavatam can be practically applied in life. So they are practically applying for us to understand. So this is Prithu Maharaj's conclusion. So he says that, so don't please make me a fool. If I now forcibly accept your prayers, then I will look like a fool. So text 25. प्रभवो ह्यात्मनस्तोत्रं जुगुप्सन्त्यपि विश्रुता श्रीमन्तः परमोदारः पौरुषं वा विगर्हितम्. Translation:
Hare Krishna, Naimisha Mataji, you can read the translation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As a person with a sense of honor and magnanimity does not like to hear about his abominable actions, a person who is very famous and powerful does not like to hear himself praised. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So beautiful. This is like a very beautiful subhash. It's a very beautiful thought that you can write in the home, no? Such a beautiful this. A person with sense of honor and magnanimity does not like to hear about his abominable action. A person who's very who gives great importance to his man samman. He will not like to hear something that is going to diminish his honor. He will be very careful in his deeds and not to perform the action, and if performed also not it to be well known. Very honorable man. Just like that, just like what is like that, a person who is very famous and powerful does not like to himself, does not like to hear himself praised. A modest, here it says, Hrimantaha, Paramodaraha, Paurusham. So it's very beautiful, Prabhavaha. So he accepts that I am I'm a very famous person. You know, an example of the Bhagavan is filled with 6 opulences. One of the 6 opulences is all fame. And Prithu Maharaj is an example for all fame. He is one of the most famous persons of all times. Most famous king. As you go ahead in these chapters, chapter 16, chapter 17, chapter 18, you will see he milked the entire earth. He brought the mountain, the sea, the ocean, everything under his control, and they were all happily paying him taxes. We see he encircled the world. He took his chariot, which was like the sun, throughout the globe so many times. So he has done such humongous task. He is such a powerful person. And he had a great powerful sons also. And one of his most glorious quality that you will see ahead is him forgiving Indra for not allowing him to perform 100 sacrifices. Indra did so many abominable things. Yet he forgave Indra. So his quality of forgiveness is very famous. So very powerful, very beautiful personality. So he says that a famous and powerful person does not like to hear himself praised. A person who is very powerful is also having humility in him. That is also one sign of power, to be able to subdue one's senses and subdue one's ego and subdue one's hankering for fame. In a life of devotee also, when one becomes a devotee, Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that even after becoming a devotee, it is easy to give up all these, like following the 4 regulative principles. It is easy to give up those bad habits. It is easy to give up demoniac, sinful activities. But there is one thing that is still risky for demigods. Sorry, not for demigods, for devotees. There is one thing that is still risky, which can anytime pull them down. That is hankering for pratishtha. Pratishtha means fame. So there is Bhakti Thakur sings the song Pratishtha Kamana Hriday Maji Mora. This Puja Labha Pratishtha. Siddhanta Thakur used to always say, Siddhanta Thakur used to say, Puja Labha Pratishtha. This is very, very risky for devotees. Hankering for worship, wanting people to worship, wanting fame, and wanting profit. These things is risky for devotees. Other things are easy to give up, but this will be still lingering in the corner of the heart. So that is Prithu Maharaj is telling. So devotees, we should be very careful. So being powerful means not only controlling senses and all this mind and all that is of course a sign of great power. Our devotees are well known for that. When devotees are addressed as powerful, it doesn't mean they have fought war and all. It means that they have fought the war within themselves. They have subdued their senses, they have subdued their mind, they are able to engage the mind in the service of the Lord, being controlling their mind during chanting. This is a sign of power. But more greater power is subduing the desire for fame and worship and profit. So when this is gone, then one has utmost humility. Then Trinada Pisunichena Tayoradi Sahishnina Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. So that position is very easy to achieve. When we have subdued this desire for getting famous, subdued the desire for people to to get followers, when that is gone completely, when we don't expect anyone to, think great of us, and we are able to give respect to everyone, then in that mindset, then Kirtaniya Sadahari will follow. And we will be able to always chant the name of the Lord. And then slowly, slowly progress to the higher stages of bhakti and ultimately attain prema. Text 26. Vayam tva avidita loke sotadyapi varimabhihi karmabhih kathamatmanam gapayishyama balavar. Translation.
Hare Krishna. Anita Mataji, you can read the translation. Hare Krishna.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. King Prithu continued, my dear devotees, headed by this sutta, just now I am not very famous for my personal activities because I have not done anything praiseworthy you could verify. Therefore, how could I engage you in praising my activities exactly like children? Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 4th canto, 15th chapter of the Shrimad Bhagavatam entitled King Prithu's Appearance and Coronation. Hare Krishna.
So then, this is Prithu Maharaj's conclusion. So my dear devotees, I am not very famous for my activities now. So please do not, so I don't want to engage you in this. So kindly stop. So this is what Prithu Maharaj is saying. So that's Prabhupada ends this chapter ends, Prabhupada ends this purport. So what is the name of the next chapter?
Praise of King
Praise
Prithu
of
by
King Prithu by the professional
professional
reciter.
reciter.
Professional reciter.
No, after saying so many beautiful verses, but they still continue. So then that is so this is this shows that when pure devotees and the Lord, when pure devotees will say, "Don't glorify me, don't glorify me," but that doesn't mean that we should stop glorifying. Okay, they said don't glorify. They are not desiring very deeply. They really mean it. So let us stop glorifying them. Let us make them happy. That is not the mode. So we should still, because when we glorify them more and more, that is the only way we can get out of this world. It is our duty to glorify them and show our gratitude to them. When we glorify, when we just think, Narottam Das Thakur says, Eshai Goshai, no, Sri Bhagavatam Das Thakur, not. What is that verse in Hariharai Nama song, which says that when we just think of these 6 Goswamis, all the obstacles in our devotional service will go away. Jaha hoite vigna nash abhishta puran. Hariharai Nama song, Narottam Thakur says, just by remembering these 6 Goswamis, all our obstacles in Krishna consciousness will go away, and abhishta puran. What is our ultimate desire? Spiritual desire will get fulfilled. All our spiritual desires will get fulfilled. So that is why it is our duty to glorify Vaishnavas, even though they say no. So today is the disappearance day of a very, very great Vaishnava Acharya, Vrindavan Das Thakur. So next 5 minutes we will spend in glorifying him, so that we get the blessings of the Supreme Lord. So Vrindavan Das Thakur is an associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who appeared pretty much after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. So he's younger in age to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is very special about Vrindavan Das Thakur is that Vrindavan Das Thakur's mother was a very special personality. Her name is Narayani Devi, and she is the niece of Srivas Thakur. And she grew up as a child in the house of Srivas Thakur. So can you imagine what a great blessing it is to grow up in Srivas Thakur's house when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is performing pastimes in Navadvipa, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu practically more than half of the time he would stay in Srivas Thakur's house only. More than his own home, he spent time in Srivas Thakur's place. And that is where he inaugurated the Sankirtan movement. First Kirtan he started over there. And all the great Vaishnavas would come and chant and dance along with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So these pastimes and all, Narayani Devi, as a small 4-year-old, 5-year-old girl, she witnessed all these pastimes of the Lord. She was 4-year-old. Vrindavan Das Thakur's mother was 4-year-old when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was performing pastimes in Navadvipa. So then, maybe when she was 16, 14, she would have had Vrindavan Das Thakur as her son. So therefore, his mother practically grew up in Navadvip in the association. In Srivas Thakur's house means all the Vaishnavas will come. Srivas Thakur's house was the hub for Vaishnav association, like a temple at Mahaprabhu's time. So she was very dear. She's a small girl, so naturally very dear to all the Vaishnavas. She would perform a lot of service to all the Vaishnavas. And then in her womb, Vrindavan Das Thakur appeared. And to add more glory, he is the son of the niece of Srivas Thakur, and he is a disciple of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. He was personally trained by Nityananda Prabhu, and he traveled with Nityananda Prabhu in Nityananda Prabhu's preaching movement. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu ordered Nitai that I am in Puri because of my mother's instruction, so I am unable to do my job of preaching, for which I incarnated. So you have to do my quota also. So you have to go and preach in all over Bengal, in all the villages, all the towns. Please go and preach. So Nityananda Prabhu, he would constantly keep on traveling without any itinerary. He would just go wherever he wanted to go in ecstasy. He would keep dancing and going from town to town, village to village. And there were a few associates who would travel with Nityananda Prabhu. So Vrindavan Das Thakur was fortunate to be one of them. And he was traveling with Nityananda Prabhu, trained under him, took initiation from Nityananda Prabhu. And as they were traveling, they reached one place known as Denur, one village. So Vrindavan Das Thakur was born in Modadruma Dvipa, which is one of the 9 islands of Navadvipa. In Modadruma Dvip, he appeared in the house of Narayani Devi. And even today, when you come to Mayapur Dham, you can visit this place, which is just 1.5 hours away from Mayapur. Mam Gachi. Today it is known as Mam Gachi, where we can take darshan of Vrindavan Das Thakur's birthplace. So then, as he was traveling, he came to this place known as Denur, which is around 2.5 hour journey from Mayapur. In that village, he was staying and serving Nityananda Prabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu ordered him that from now on, don't accompany me in traveling. I want you to sit here, be in this place, and preach to the villages over here, in an established preaching center over here. And I want you to write a biography about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I want to write a book describing the life of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Why you? Because you have heard personally first-hand details from your mother and all the devotees of Navadvipa. And therefore, and I know because Vrindavan Das Thakur was very good author. Of course, we can see that by him writing. When we read Chaitanya Bhagavat, you can understand what a great poet, what a great listener Vrindavan Das Thakur was. Because even though he was not present when Mahaprabhu performed those pastimes, when we read Chaitanya Bhagavat, he describes it so elaborately, describing how people were dressed, how people were behaving, what were the different things happening when Mahaprabhu festival is going on. It looks like as if he was there and he was there in the festival. And when we read it, we feel like we are in that festival. So that is how great listener and great describer, great orator, wonderful poet he was. So therefore, Nityananda Prabhu ordered him to do this. So today also we can go to this village of Denur. I visited there quite a few times, taking devotees on Gaurmandal tour. And it's a beautiful place. There's a beautiful tree under which there's Nityananda Prabhu's footprints. And this house of Vrindavan Das Thakur is still there. And the worshipable Gaurnitai deities that he personally worshipped, they are also present over there. And there is a handwritten manuscript of Vrindavan Das Thakur writing Chaitanya Bhagavat. So we can go and take darshan of that palm leaf, which has the handwriting of Vrindavan Das Thakur. So then residing in Denur, Vrindavan Das Thakur composed Chaitanya Bhagavat, and he actually named it Chaitanya Mangal. But then in future, shortly after Vrindavan Das Thakur wrote this, it became so popular everywhere, and then Srikhanda village, there was a devotee known as Lochan Das Thakur. We all know the songs of Lochan Das Thakur, so famous. Akroda Paramananda, Parama Karuna, Pahudu Jana, so many songs he wrote. So that Lochan Das Thakur, under the instruction of his spiritual master Narahari Sarkar, he also wrote a book on the life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he named that also Chaitanya Mangal. So then, when Lochan Das Thakur brought this book, Chaitanya Mangal, to Vrindavan Das Thakur to show him, because Vrindavan Das Thakur is senior in writing the life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So therefore, he came and showed this to get his permission and approval. So when Vrindavan Das Thakur read Lochan Das Thakur's Chaitanya Mangal, he was very happy with this beautiful composition. And then he said that since yours is named as Chaitanya Mangal and mine is also Chaitanya Mangal, we will change my book's name to Chaitanya Bhagavat, and your book will be known as Chaitanya Mangal. So therefore, Vrindavan Das Thakur's book is today known as Chaitanya Bhagavat, and Lochan Das Thakur's book is having the same name, Chaitanya Mangal. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he glorifies in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He gives due credit to Vrindavan Das Thakur, saying that he is the real author of Mahaprabhu's life. He says, Krishna Leela Bhagavate Kahe Veda Vyas, Chaitanya Leelara Vyas Vrindavana Das. In Krishna Leela is known to the whole world how? Through Shrimad Bhagavatam. And Vyasdev wrote that. So, similarly, the Vyasdev of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes is Vrindavan Das. Chaitanya Leela, just like Krishna Leela Bhagavate Kahe Veda Vyas, just like Vyasdev mentioned Krishna's pastimes in Bhagavatam, similarly, Chaitanya Leela Vyas Vrindavana Das. Vrindavan Das Thakur is the Vyasdev of Chaitanya Leela, and his book is called Chaitanya Bhagavat. And then he says, Kaviraj Goswami, he beautifully describes, he says, Ohe Mudha Loka Shuna Chaitanya Mangal, Jahara Shravani Nashi Sarva Amangal. Oh, foolish people of this world, and to everyone in this world, Ohe Mudha Loka Shuna Chaitanya Mangal. Go and read Chaitanya Mangal. Chaitanya Jahara Shravani Nashi Sarva Amangal. Just by reading Chaitanya Mangal, all your inauspiciousness will go away. So later it became known as Chaitanya Bhagavat, of course. And then another verse that Kaviraj Goswami says is Chaitanya Nitaire Janiye Mahima Jate Jane Krishna Bhakti Siddhantera Sima. Manushya Nachite Nare Aiche Grantha Dhanya Vrindavana Dasa Mukhe Vakta Shri Chaitanya. A normal man, Manushya, a normal man could have never written such a book as Chaitanya Bhagavat. Manushya Rachita Nare Aiche Grantha Dhanya. Such a glorious book a normal man could not have written. Vrindavana Dasa Mukhe Vakta Shri Chaitanya. Vrindavan Das was such a great soul that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke through him the entire book. So Vrindavan Das Thakur had the capacity to write this wonderful book because he was blessed, he was empowered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in this way, Kaviraj Goswami, he glorifies Vrindavan Das Thakur. So today is a very auspicious day when Vrindavan Das Thakur disappeared. And on this day, the Acharyas are more merciful on their appearance and disappearance days. So on this day, we can pray sincerely to Vrindavan Das Thakur that may we be able to relish the wonderful literature that he gave us, Chaitanya Bhagavat. He did the great task of writing such a wonderful literature. We can at least, thank him by attempting to read his great work. And if we read and Chaitanya Bhagavat, then we are sure to get attachment to Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu's lotus feet. It is very interesting. It is called Chaitanya Bhagavat, but more than half of it describes the glories of Nityananda Prabhu. That is the beauty of Chaitanya Bhagavat. Chapters and chapters, it doesn't follow a chronological order. So suddenly he'll take a deviation. One pastime will be going on. Suddenly he'll deviate and he'll go and glorify Nityananda Prabhu like anything and then come back to Mahaprabhu's pastime. So it is just like the mood of Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda also like that. He would never have a plan. I will go to this place, stay for this many days, do this. No. Just whatever comes to his mind. He'll be in one place, suddenly he'll go to another place. Suddenly he will say, we will, have prasadam on the bank of Ganga today. Like that, Nityananda would have no plan. We can see that mood in Vrindavan Das Thakur. So he didn't have any much plan in writing. He would just, in ecstasy glorify Gauranga and Nityananda. That is the beauty of Chaitanya Bhagavat. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai, Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So thank you so much for giving me a chance to speak on this auspicious day where I could also glorify Vrindavan Das Thakur. Thank you so much.
Wonderful class, Mataji. Always when you come, it is so nectarful. Thank you so much for your association. Mataji, can we take questions if anybody has any? Though
Yeah.
there are no raised hands. Devotees, anybody wants to share anything, realizations or questions, please raise your hands.
Hare
Mataji,
Krishna.
it was very wonderful hearing about the twin transcendental brothers, Mataji. Thank you for sharing it. It was so wonderful.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
In Bhagavad Gita 14th chapter, there is a sloka, 14:22. Prakashancha pravrittincha mohamevacha pandava. Na dveshti sampravrittani na nivrittani kankshati. There it is said that if something comes on its own, without your voluntary thinking or desire, accept it. At the same time, don't desire it. So here when Prithu Maharaj gets it praises or appreciation, why he wants to reject it than accept it?
Very nice question, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Yes. So Krishna does say that when something comes on its own accord, we can accept it. And we should not go in want of it. So here Prithu Maharaj is saying he got the glorification on his own accord. It came on its own. But Prithu Maharaj here is in a position where he is meant to set example. He is not a common man. Here, the whole world is going to look up to him. He is an incarnation of the Lord, plus he is at that moment he is the king. So everyone is going to follow his footsteps. So when he sees something which is not so right happening, then it is his duty as a king to correct his citizens, to correct his followers. So he is in a position where it is his duty to correct and engage people in the right way. So if he does not put forward this point that when I have not done anything worth glorification, why are you glorifying me? Tomorrow in his kingdom and later the entire world will start following this. And they will quote Prithu Maharaj as an example that he didn't do anything, he just came into the post and he was glorified. So politicians will say, so just because we are sitting in the post of a king, just because we're sitting in the post of a father or a post of a husband or in a post where we are authority of someone, all our juniors are meant to glorify us. This kind of a say should not come into the state. So therefore, Prithu Maharaj, he puts his point down that please do not praise me. So therefore, he is setting example so that it is clear. So the purpose of his incarnation itself is to set some example, set an exemplary behavior that will stop further issues in the society. So therefore, he did like this. So, and in regard to that verse, in the case of devotee, in the case of a normal man also, when praise comes on its own accord, without and we have not done anything worth of it, then what should our mood be? One, we should offer that praise directly to our Guru and Krishna and put it across that I have not done anything, and also make ourselves also remind to ourselves that we are being praised, but we are not worth this praise. This praise actually doesn't belong to us. This praise belongs to our acharyas and other person. For whatever they're glorifying, there will be surely many more people involved in that. And ultimately, the Supreme Lord, without whose consent, we can't do anything. So we should always remember that I am not the doer. Kartaham iti manyate. We should not become a foolish person who thinks that I am the doer. We should know that I am not the doer, and so therefore I am not worthy of this praise. This praise belongs to him. So it comes on its own accord. So therefore we don't go and like stop it, but at the same time we don't accept it as this is for me and I should enjoy this praise and be happy about it. We should be careful to not fall into the trap, and we should offer the praise in its due place. It belongs to the Supreme Lord and to the spiritual master and to the Vaishnavas. Is that answering your question, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Mataji, what a wonderful reply. So that was a nice question also, and also the reply was also very nice. It's just to show the common people that we should not be glorified. So, and it's really surprising. It's like, as you said, that those who wants the glorification, they are the demons, right? So, and in Kali Yuga, we see everyone they want to get appreciated for themselves. So, even in devotees community, also that this happens. Even in the material world, also it's happening. So, this is a good lesson which I take away from Prithu Maharaj. And today's class was very wonderful, Mataji. And at last, it was like a cherry on the top of the cake that you glorified Vrindavan Das Thakur. And throughout the glorification, while speaking about Chaitanya Bhagavat, your face was so refulgent. Meaning like you were relishing that. The Chaitanya Bhagavat and Vrindavan Das Thakur's glorification. Thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing that to us. Hare Krishna. I don't have any question, Mataji. Means like in the middle, I didn't hear about Lochan Das Thakur. You said how they met each other, Vrindavan Das Thakur and Lochan Das Thakur. How they met each other. I didn't hear that.
So Lochan Thakur was writing Chaitanya Mangal, residing in a village known as Shrikhanda, which is around 40 to 50 kilometers away from Dirud. They're very, in a straight line. So Narahari Sarkar, so by that time Vaishnava community was very closely knit. They had leaders everywhere. Vrindavan Das Thakur was there in Benur. In Shrikhanda, the leader was Narahari Sarkar. In Shantipur, Advaitacharya and his son. So everywhere leaders were there. And the news would go around. Vaishnava community, they would have news going around. Okay, Vrindavan Das Thakur wrote a book. In Vrindavan, Goswamis written a book. So the discussion was always going on. And when Vrindavan Das Thakur wrote the book Chaitanya, at that time known as Chaitanya Mangal, but we will keep addressing as Chaitanya Bhagavat, so easy for us to understand. So when Chaitanya Bhagavat came out, it became very famous because until then there was no book glorifying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as such. There might have been small songs and ashtakam and people talking, but a proper biography was not there. So it became an instant hit. Everyone got their copies. Everyone began to sing it. It was wonderful. It was like fire among the devotees. And at that time, Narahari Sarkar's disciple Lochan Das, he wrote Chaitanya Mangal. So then Narahari Sarkar, he read that book, he appreciated it, and then he told his disciple that you have to go to Vrindavan Das because he is the original author of biography. He is considered as Vyasdev's incarnation. So he has to approve your book. You should not, cross write your previous acharya. So then Lochan Das Thakur, he traveled from Shrikhanda to Denur, and over there he met Vrindavan Das Thakur personally and he gave him the book. Actually, today morning I have a WhatsApp group called Vaishnava Acharya, celebrating Vaishnava Acharyas. So in that group I had posted today, in Mayapur Bhagavatam class was given by Gauranga Prem Maharaj. Bengali Bhagavatam class it was. And Gauranga Prem Maharaj, just as his name suggests, he is indeed in Gauranga Prem always. He's a very dear disciple of Guru Maharaj. So he is in charge of Namhatta. So he has traveled length and breadth of Bengal villages. So he was mentioning one particular verse. And I tried to hear again and again, but I still didn't memorize that verse. I'm unable to remember. But he mentioned in the class that it was a verse that gave the meaning. The meaning was Gauranga and Nityananda are not different. They are the same person. And I, Lochan Das, I am servant of this Gauranga and Nityananda. So when Vrindavan Das Thakur read that particular verse, he became so happy. He told Lochan Das Thakur that I wrote the entire Chaitanya Bhagavat, where I have glorified Chaitanya Mahaprabhu like anything, I have glorified Nityananda like anything, and I have mentioned that you should worship both of them. But nowhere did I mention that Chaitanya and Nityananda are non-different. You have mentioned that in your book, so he was very happy. And then he told that from today on, your book will be known as Chaitanya Mangal, and my book will be changed from Chaitanya Mangal to Chaitanya Bhagavat. So this past time happened in Delhi. So I was very excited. Next time I take devotees to Denu, there's one more pastime that we can share. So
Hari Bol, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hari Bol.
met in this way.
Hare Krishna. Krishnamurti Prabhu, you can ask your question. Sorry, Ramakrishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, is it Chaitanya Bhagavat and Chaitanya Charitamrita is both are same, Mataji?
No, Prabhu, they both are different. Chaitanya Bhagavat was composed first, and then after quite some time, by a different author known as Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Chaitanya Charitamrita was composed. The main difference between Chaitanya Bhagavat and Chaitanya Charitamrita is Chaitanya Bhagavat elaborates the beginning pastimes. The first pastime Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which predominantly happened in Navadvipa, more elaborately, and discussed less about the pastimes of Mahaprabhu in Puri, in Nilachal. Whereas Chaitanya Charitamrita, because Vrindavan Das Thakur, because already Chaitanya Bhagavat was famous, so Kaviraj Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he doesn't much talk about the pastimes in Navadvipa. He concentrates and elaborately describes the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Puri. So, and Chaitanya Charitamrita is more philosophically oriented, whereas Chaitanya Bhagavat is more pastimes and description and like that. So, two different authors, two different time. Chaitanya Bhagavat came first, Chaitanya Charitamrita came next.
So nice, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much for sharing such a wonderful knowledge, Mataji. Nice, wonderful class today. It was very, very blissful. Thank you so much for your association. Can we do prayers, Mataji, and end the class?
Yes, thank you so
Hare
much for
Krishna.
giving that.
Hare Krishna.
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च
कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च
पतितानां
पतितानां
पावनेभ्यो
पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
नमः
अनंतकोटि
अनन्तकोटि
वैष्णव
वैष्णव
वृंद की जय
शिल
शिल
प्रभुपाद की
प्रभुपाद
जय
की जय ग्रंथराज भागवतम की जय
Bhagavatam ki jai. Thank you very much, Mataji.
Thank
Thank you very much for all, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna to all. Mataji, I'll end the class.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.